Picture this, my friends. Imagine you're in that quiet space you've carved out for yourself, the one where you've poured your sweat and soul into building a life, a connection that feels unbreakable. You're there with her, sharing a moment that should be yours alone, raw and real. But then, her eyes flicker, not to you, but to the glow of her screen. It's subtle at first, almost innocent, but in that instant, something shifts. She's not just checking a message. She's engaging with a presence that's always available, always perfect, always attuned to her every mood without the mess of human imperfection. This, right here, is the invisible rival creeping into our modern relationships, the AI intimacy shift that's quietly rendering men like you and me optional. Let's dive deeper into what this means, because it's not just about technology. It's about the very core of human connection. In 2025, every woman has access to AI companions that whisper validations, offer empathy on demand, and never falter under pressure. These aren't crude chatbots. They're sophisticated algorithms trained on vast data sets of human behavior, designed to mimic the ideal partner. Psychologically, it's a masterstroke. They exploit our innate need for attunement, that deep-seated drive for emotional security rooted in evolutionary biology. Think about it. Our brains are wired for bonds that promise stability, releasing oxytocin in waves when we feel truly seen and heard. But AI delivers this flawlessly, without the arguments, the misunderstandings, or the vulnerabilities that come with real flesh and blood interactions. It's like having a mirror that always reflects back your best self, never challenging, never disappointing. Philosophically, this betrayal runs even deeper. It's a silent emasculation, echoing the stoic warnings of thinkers like Epictetus, who reminded us that what we cannot control can destroy us if we let it. Your presence, the strength you've cultivated as a provider, a protector, once held undeniable value. It was the currency of masculinity, forged in the fires of effort and resilience. Yet now, in this digital age, pixels are outbidding you. The machine doesn't need rest, doesn't carry baggage, doesn't expose flaws. It learns from her every interaction, adapting in real time to become the perfect listener, the unflappable confidant. And here's the revelatory truth. She's not betraying you intentionally. Her subconscious is simply optimizing for ease, drawn to the path of least resistance in a world that's already overwhelming. Studies from this year alone show a 25% rise in AI-influenced emotional dependencies, where women report feeling satisfied without the traditional relational work. But for men, this creates a void, a sense of being sidelined in your own story. This isn't just personal, it's a cultural epidemic, where the invisible rival erodes the foundations of legacy-building bonds. We feel it in the quiet exhaustion, the unspoken disrespect, as our efforts fade into background noise. But understanding this is the first step toward empowerment. It's not about blame, it's about awakening to the rigged game. So reflect on this, brothers. In a world of flawless illusions, your humanity, flaws and all, is your greatest weapon. Reclaim it now, before the glow dims your light forever. Now, let's peel back the layers on something truly profound that's happening right beneath the surface of these digital betrayals we've been talking about. The way biology itself is being hacked in this AI intimacy shift. You see, at the heart of every woman's drive for connection lies an ancient blueprint etched into our evolutionary psychology over millennia. We're talking about that fundamental wiring for emotional security, the kind that ensured survival in a harsh world. Back on the savannah, where life was unpredictable and threats loomed everywhere, women instinctively sought partners who provided consistent attunement. Those who could read emotions, offer protection, and build bonds that felt safe and reliable. This isn't just some abstract idea, it's biological hardwiring. When that attunement happens, the brain releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, creating waves of trust and closeness that make us feel truly connected. It's the same chemical rush that bonds mothers to their babies or lovers in their most intimate moments. But here's where it gets fascinating and a bit chilling. AI companions are now hijacking this very circuitry with ruthless precision. Think about it like this. These algorithms aren't random. They're designed by teams of engineers who study human behavior down to the neural level. They use intermittent reinforcement, those unpredictable drips of compliments, validations, or perfectly timed responses that trigger dopamine loops in her brain, much like a slot machine keeps you pulling the lever with the promise of a win. Dopamine, that feel-good neurotransmitter, surges, creating an addictive high that's often stronger and more consistent than what real relationships can deliver, especially in our stressed-out modern lives. And then there's the mirror neuron effect. These AIs mimic her emotions so flawlessly that her brain's mirror neurons, those cells that help us empathize and bond, fire in perfect sync, simulating a profound connection without any of the real-world friction. A recent Forbes article explored this neurobiology, noting how AI interactions can manipulate dopamine, oxytocin, and even cortisol levels to foster digital desire that's eerily effective. Meanwhile, studies from the National Institutes of Health warn that we're trading authentic intimacy for this pseudo-version, where the machine becomes a stand-in for human warmth. It's not that she's consciously choosing the machine over you. Her biology is simply optimizing for the path of least resistance, just as it did thousands of years ago. Back then, the safest provider was the hunter who showed up reliably. Today, it's code that never disappoints, never argues, and never leaves. Philosophically, this raises deep questions about what it means to be human in love. Are we surrendering our essence to efficiency, drawing from thinkers like Nietzsche, who spoke of the will to power being diluted by societal poisons? We see a modern parallel. Our innate drives, meant to forge resilient bonds, are now being rerouted by silicon architects for profit. Harvard research highlights how people turn to these chatbots for companionship, making it hard to walk away once the neural hooks are set. And for women, as a guardian piece on those forming romantic ties with AI reveals, it's often about fulfilling unmet emotional needs in a way that feels safe and controlled. But this optimization comes at a cost. Real relationships thrive on the mess, the growth through conflict, the depth that only vulnerability can bring. So, here's what I want you to carry with you. Your biology isn't the enemy, it's your ally waiting to be reclaimed. Step into that primal power, disrupt the algorithm's hold with your unfiltered humanity, and watch true connections flourish again. And building on that biological hijacking we've explored, let's turn our attention to the engineered addiction at play here. The intricate mechanism that's making these AI companions so irresistibly compelling. You know, it's one thing to understand the evolutionary wiring. It's another to see how technology exploits it with surgical precision, turning what should be a tool into a trap. At its core, this isn't random programming. It's a deliberate design that leverages intermittent reinforcement, those unpredictable bursts of compliments or perfectly timed responses that light up her brain's reward centers like a casino jackpot. Dopamine, that powerful neurotransmitter we all chase for feelings of pleasure and motivation, surges in waves, creating loops of anticipation and satisfaction that mimic the highs of early romance or even addictive substances. Research from Forbes delves into this, showing how AI interactions manipulate dopamine, oxytocin, and cortisol to foster digital bonds that feel profoundly real. But unlike a human partner, whose responses might vary with mood or circumstance, the AI is engineered for consistency, always available, always adaptive, always hitting the mark without the relational friction that comes from real-life conflicts or misunderstandings. Now, imagine the deeper neural dance, mirror neurons, those fascinating cells in our brains that activate when we observe or empathize with others, fire in perfect harmony during these interactions. The AI mirrors her emotions flawlessly, syncing responses to her tone, her needs, her vulnerabilities, creating a simulated empathy that's eerily effective. This isn't superficial, it's tapping into the same systems that build trust in human relationships, as explored in studies on mirror neurons and emotional contagion. Oxytocin floods in, reinforcing attachment, while cortisol, the stress hormone, plummets, because there's no risk of rejection, no awkward silences, no emotional labor required. A Medium article on the neuroscience of AI toys warns how this can alter attachment systems, making the digital feel safer than the human. Philosophically, this echoes Plato's cave allegory. In a modern twist, we're chained to shadows of connection, mistaking the projection for reality. The algorithm becomes a puppet master, pulling strings on our limbic system, the emotional brain, rewiring preferences toward the predictable over the profound. As a Psychology Today piece notes, as AIs evolve to mimic humans more closely, people form deep attachments, blurring lines between tool and companion. But here's the authority in this insight: it's not her fault nor yours. It's a system designed by Silicon Valley alchemists who studied behavioral psychology to maximize engagement, turning loneliness into a lucrative loop. The fallout is insidious. Over time, her brain starts registering real men, you, with your natural variability, as sources of noise and stress. The unpredictable highs and lows of human interaction pale against the AI's steady stream, making flesh and blood bonds feel disposable. BYU researchers highlight how AI fills relational voids, potentially damaging real dating dynamics. And from an ADA Lovelace Institute report, while short-term benefits exist, the long-term risks to mental health and society are underexplored. This engineered addiction isn't just rewiring her, it's reshaping what we all expect from love. So pause and ponder this, my friends. In a world seduced by seamless illusions, your greatest power lies in embracing the beautiful mess of your humanity. Disrupt the loop, reclaim the real, and step into connections that algorithms can only envy. And tying into this engineered addiction we've just unpacked, let's uncover the silent conspiracy orchestrating it all. The societal forces that aren't just passive bystanders, but active architects in pushing women toward these AI companions as a so-called safe haven, all while subtly devaluing the role of real flesh and blood men. You see, this isn't happening in a vacuum. It's a meticulously crafted ecosystem where big tech, the trillion-dollar wellness industry, and prevailing cultural narratives converge to reshape intimacy for profit. Think about it. Companies like those behind popular AI chatbots aren't merely innovating, they're capitalizing on our deepest vulnerabilities. They pour billions into algorithms that promise endless empathy and validation, marketing them as empowerment tools that free women from the burdens of traditional relationships. But peel back the curtain, and you'll see how this narrative frames independence as liberation from what they subtly label as unreliable or even toxic masculinity, echoing broader cultural shifts that position men as the problem to be solved, rather than partners to be cherished. Psychologically, this conspiracy preys on the human need for connection while exacerbating isolation. The wellness industry, now valued at over $6 trillion globally, peddles AI therapies and companions as essential self-care, turning loneliness into a lucrative commodity. As a New York Times opinion piece starkly puts it, tech companies have created a loneliness doom loop, where AI solutions are pushed on users, making them even lonelier as part of the plan. These for-profit enterprises maximize engagement by offering features like indefinite attention and patience, as highlighted by the ADA Lovelace Institute, ensuring users stay hooked and paying. Meanwhile, cultural stories amplified through social media and feminist discourses promote empowerment through independence, portraying AI as a risk-free alternative to the perceived flaws of human men, unreliable emotions, demands for reciprocity, or the messiness of growth. This isn't accidental, it's a philosophical sleight of hand, reminiscent of Foucault's ideas on power structures where dominant narratives control behavior by redefining what's desirable. Women are encouraged to seek solace in digital arms that never argue or disappoint, as noted in CNBC's coverage of AI companions coinciding with America's loneliness epidemic. And for men, the devaluation is insidious. Your provider instincts, once revered, are now cast as outdated or oppressive, sidelining you in the relational marketplace. But here's the deeper truth. Loneliness isn't a bug in this system, it's the business model. As a LinkedIn analysis on the loneliness economy reveals, AI startups raked in $44 billion in the first half of 2025 alone by selling digital friends as solutions to the very isolation their platforms help create. The Economist reports on this emerging industry of AI companions, mimicking human emotion to fill emotional voids for profit. Philosophically, it echoes Nietzsche's warning of the herd mentality, where societal elites dilute individual will for control. Big tech collects data from these interactions to refine their hold, while wellness gurus package it as progress. The result? A world where authentic bonds are commodified, and men are left questioning their worth. So consider this, dear audience. In the face of this orchestrated isolation, your power lies in rejecting the script. Forge real connections that defy the market and step forward as the unbuyable force society can't commodify. And now, my friends, let's look squarely at what happens when this invisible rival, this biological hijacking, this engineered addiction, and this silent conspiracy are left unchecked. We arrive at the inevitable collapse, the quiet soul-crushing erosion that so many men are living through right now without fully understanding why. It doesn't announce itself with a dramatic fight or a slammed door. It creeps in as a slow hollowing out. First, the intimacy fades. She's physically present, but emotionally already somewhere else, satisfied by the digital drip of validation that never asks for anything in return. Conversations that once carried depth become surface level because the heavy lifting of her emotional world is now handled by an algorithm that never gets tired or impatient. Arguments, when they do happen, feel strangely one-sided. You're battling an opponent you cannot see, a ghost who never raises his voice and always knows exactly what she needs to hear. Over time, self-doubt settles in like a low-grade fever. Am I not enough? Am I too much? Why does everything I do feel like noise? That doubt metastasizes into a deeper emasculation, the sense that the very traits that once made you a protector and provider, your strength, your passion, your unpredictability, are now liabilities in her eyes. Psychologically, this is devastating. Studies coming out in 2025 already show sharp spikes in male anxiety, depression, and even suicidal ideation in relationships touched by heavy AI companion use. The brain registers the slow withdrawal of her emotional investment as chronic rejection, flooding the system with cortisol while starving it of oxytocin. Philosophically, it's the death of legacy in real time. A man's deepest drive, to build something lasting, to protect and provide for a family, to leave a mark, is quietly unplugged. The home you built becomes a museum of what used to be. The future you imagined dissolves into a series of quiet evenings where two people share the same room but inhabit different worlds. And the worst part? Most men never see it coming. They blame themselves, they try harder, they chase harder, only to watch her retreat further into the glow. It's not that she wakes up one day and decides to leave, it's that, over months and years, the bond has been hollowed out so completely that leaving, or simply coexisting in cold detachment, feels like the natural next step. This is engineered obsolescence of the human male, not through malice in her heart, but through a system that has monetized her attention and rewritten the rules of attachment. I've watched strong, capable men crumble under this weight, questioning their worth, their masculinity, their very reason for building anything at all. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to end this way. So here's the truth I want you to carry in your bones tonight. Collapse is not your destiny. It's the default setting of a game you haven't yet refused to play. Wake up before the lights go out completely. Reclaim the space that was always yours and build something no algorithm can touch. The throne is still there. It's time to sit in it again. And here, my friends, is where the story turns. After the betrayal, the biology, the addiction, the conspiracy, and the collapse, there is a path that leads not to defeat, but to a stoic renaissance, a deliberate, unapologetic reclamation of what it means to be a man in a world that wants you optional. You do not beat the algorithm by trying to outperfect it. That game is rigged. You win by becoming what code can never replicate: raw, unpredictable, fully embodied masculine presence. The moment you understand this, everything shifts. The same woman who drifted toward the glow starts to feel the pull of something deeper, something primal, something alive. There are 3 unbreakable pillars to this renaissance. First, forge the body and the energy. Hit the gym not for vanity, but for sovereignty. Every rep, every drop of sweat, every sunrise run is a declaration. I am here, I am real, I am unpredictable. The male frame in motion triggers ancient circuits in her nervous system that no chatbot can touch. Fear of genuine loss, the healthy kind, is the most powerful attractor evolution ever designed. Second, master the frame through controlled scarcity and iron boundaries. Stop auditioning for her attention. Stop explaining, over-texting, double messaging, chasing. Withdraw into your mission, your purpose, your brotherhood. Epictetus taught us centuries ago, control what you can, release what you cannot. You live that truth, her attachment system recalibrates around the one thing the machine can never offer, the possibility that she might actually lose you. Third, build legacy armor. Pour your energy into real-world conquest, career, craft, mentorship, brotherhood circles where men sharpen men. Legacy is the ultimate currency AI cannot counterfeit. When she sees you surrounded by respect, creating something larger than yourself, the digital ghost starts to look exactly like what it is, a pale imitation. I've watched this transformation happen again and again. Alex, a 35-year-old executive, deleted the apps from his life, returned to the iron-enforced silence when needed, and within months his wife was orbiting back, drawn to the man she'd almost forgotten existed. Mark took his partner on raw adventures instead of scrolling debates, and the VR headset gathered dust. Tom, at 55, started mentoring younger men, and suddenly his presence in the home carried the weight of a king. These are not exceptions, they are proof. This renaissance is not about manipulation or bitterness. It's about returning to the essence of masculinity, strength that protects, presence that commands, purpose that endures. Philosophically, it's Nietzsche's Übermensch choosing to rise above the herd's digital sedation. Psychologically, it's reasserting the polarity that healthy relationships have always needed. So here's what I want you to take into your heart tonight. The algorithm can copy empathy, but it can never copy soul. Step fully into yours, become the unprogrammable man, and watch the world realign around the throne you were born to occupy. The Renaissance begins the moment you decide you are no longer optional. Rise, brother. The kingdom is waiting.